All right. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Politically Unhinged. As always, I am your host, Unhinged Tony. And quite frankly, I am fed up with a lot of this bullshit that's going on here today. Now, what we need to talk about is everything that has happened within the last week. The last week, as you guys know, I took off the week, and quite frankly, there's a lot of shit going on now. As y'all know from the details from this live stream, National Guardsmen were actually gunned down in D.C. last week, and well, it's not pretty. It's not a good look for anyone. Now, with the response to everything that's going on here, President Trump has actually said that, well, he's suspending immigration from third world countries. Now, everyone will probably go ahead and say, like, oh, this is a bad thing and everything. It's not. This is tremendously a good thing for the Trump administration because a lot of these people that are immigrating from those places don't necessarily like us. Now, there is some news to cover about the person that gunned them down. That as well, they were radicalized in the United States. This is something that has only happened a few times in, well, the history of our country. People getting radicalized in the United States, and they're causing this shit, especially when it comes to immigrants. All right. A lot of people like to go ahead and say that these immigrants, they already have a pretense to go ahead and be more radical when it comes to this stuff. But the statistics kind of show differently. But I'm not here saying that, like, we should go ahead and have nothing but immigration. The thing is that I actually think we should suspend immigration from everywhere for about 10 years. And that's just a factual thing. We should be suspending immigration for about 10 years against these people because, in all honesty, these people are fucking stupid. Like, holy shit. Can you really imagine, like, a whole bunch of these fucking people? Like, goddamn. But the thing is that the Trump administration's reaction to this is, quite frankly, a good thing. It's a good way to actually bar people from doing this. Now, the thing is that we have to take extra steps to this. We need to go ahead and, in all honesty, stop this shit. We just need to stop it. I don't care if it's like suspending immigration or actually going in and finding out how these people are getting radicalized. I'm going to tell you right now, it's the media. The media is the fucking problem in this country. The media just likes to go ahead and radicalize people and make sure that people are no longer on the same side. The media wants to go ahead and make sure that you and I don't agree on anything. They want to make sure that we're getting our information that should be the same fucking shit, but they're spinning it. They're spinning every little fucking thing. That's just it. They want to make sure that you and I don't agree on anything. They want to make sure that we refuse to have these tough conversations that Charlie Kirk was so proud of having with these people. But the media doesn't want that. The media wants you to go ahead and be locked in step with these people. Quite frankly, the media wants to go ahead and make sure that we have more of this because it's good for ratings for them. Like, this is fucking ridiculous. The media only cares about ratings and division. They could give two shits about you and me. They could care less that you and I agree on things. The thing is if we agree, they don't get the ratings that they needed. The media is the problem with this country. The media refuses to acknowledge that they are the problem. They refuse to admit everything. The media likes to go ahead and lay concern down, but yet they like to go ahead and say that we're the problem. It used to be not too long ago that you were allowed to disagree with your neighbors and, well, nothing would happen. Now, if you disagree with your neighbors, you can potentially get shot. And that is exactly the way that they want it to be. The media just wants their fucking ratings because they think it's good for them. They don't care what happens to you or me. They just want to go ahead and perpetuate every little fucking thing possible. And you can say, like, oh, Tony, that's not true. Fox News isn't bad. Fox News fucking sucks too. When was the last time that the media fucking agreed on anything? Besides, like, an election night. Calling, saying, like, oh, this person wasn't elected as whatever the fuck that they were running for. When was the last time? When was the last fucking time that they went ahead and agreed on anything? I can't tell you the last time. Because, quite frankly, it never fucking happens. They don't fucking care. And that's just the goddamn truth. The media doesn't want to go ahead and show support for you or me. They don't want to go ahead and do this shit. What they'd rather do is point fingers at all of us, say that we're the fucking problem. But we're not. The American people are not the problem. It is these people that are coming from these countries that are not getting properly vetted and not understanding the norms to our country. But what am I supposed to say? That it's okay that this shit's happening? It's not. This shit should not be happening anywhere, let alone in our capital. But the media doesn't fucking care. They don't fucking care about what's going on here. They rather go ahead and make sure that they have the clicks, they have the likes, because it drives their story. The news media causes division. That's always their number one goal. It's all that it is. But they don't fucking care about us. They never will. But that's neither here nor there. But they don't fucking care about us. And quite frankly, their reaction to the shit with the National Guardsmen fucking dying, getting shot in our fucking capital, shows it. Their reaction to everything that has happened not too long ago is the reason why the media needs to fucking go away. The news media could care less what goes on in this country. As long as they get their clicks, as long as they get the likes, they don't fucking care. They rather go ahead and have us sit idly by while we wait for them to tell us what we should think. The media is a propaganda machine, and they don't fucking care what we think. They just want to get their information out there and tell us, hey, You should think this way. I don't know about you guys, but I don't want to think the way that they do. Never do. The media is the problem, and they just want to tell me how to fucking think. I hate it when people tell me what to do. The media shouldn't be telling you what to do whatsoever. But here we are. We have an entire society that is lock in step that wants to have the media tell them what they shall and shall not do. Are you fucking kidding me? They don't fucking care. The media is disgruntled. And we just need to get rid of these assholes. This is the reason why. This is why they are fucked up. This is why we don't fucking like these people. But they want to keep on going. They just want to keep on fucking turning the wheels, saying that everything is wrong with us. But quite frankly, let them. Let them say that we're fucked up in the brain. Wow, look at you. You look like a person.
Oh, I know, right? I look like a fucking human being for once.
You don't look like Link from Legend of Zelda.
I still don't see how I could possibly have looked like Link from Legend.
It's because you were wearing the Henley that was green and you had the long hair.
I really hope you warmed up before you made that stretch. Yes, hi Bear. Hi buddy. What you doing? All right. So, talk of the fucking week, dude. When it comes to everything that we got going on in terms of, the fucking National Guard shit that just happened in DC, fucking the freeze on on immigration from those countries. Man,
I think you and I can agree to extend them to all of them.
To what?
Every single country, no immigration. You and I have already agreed to that. So
yeah, there definitely needs to be a temporary freeze. 100%. Hold on, give me 1 sec.
Yeah, do your shit. But all right. But no, I mean, as you guys know, the fucking media is the worst fucking thing ever.
I had to grab a charger because I realized my phone was about to die.
It happens. I should have brought my bottle of whiskey, but I only poured myself a glass, so I'm pissed off.
It'd be like that sometimes. Not going to lie. But yeah, no. So the crazy thing to me more so is the fact that it's been a very, very slow yet consistent escalation since Trump took office. Like I don't know if anybody else has noticed this, but I have seen a very slow yet consistent escalation, right? Because at first when Trump took office, it was just a bunch of protests. Or no, sorry, when Trump took office, you had people being like oh, you know, the the assassin shouldn't have missed. Come on, guys. We had 4 different chances because there was, I think it was like 3 or 4 different times that somebody tried to kill him
Yep.
during his election campaign. So we had, all these people saying that stuff, which in and of itself is like, yeah, you're a piece of shit for saying it, but whatever, right? Their words. I don't particularly care. But then, we saw the No Kings protests, and some of those got violent. And we saw this rhetoric of like, Trump's a fascist, Trump's trying to be a king, this, that, and the other, actively trying to incite, some sort of revolution. And then after that, we turn around and we see the death of Charlie Kirk, right? And that's when I think it kind of like snapped, because now somebody's actually gotten killed over this.
Yeah, definitely. Like, this is honestly the rhetoric that I've been saying since before you joined, is it's the fucking media's fault.
Yeah. It's not even just media. It's not even like the news media. Like, that's the thing. It's like, this goes way beyond the news media now. This is now not just the fault of the news media, but this is the fault of the continued acceptance of that kind of speech, by just the general populace, is the problem, right?
Yeah.
Because, like, I've been hearing shit like that for years. Because, like, that's the thing, though, is like, one thing I will say is, like, in general, like, the general rhetoric that we tend to hear of, like, anybody that doesn't agree with me is a Nazi or a fascist, shit like that, like generalized violent rhetoric from the left. That's not something that's new. That's something that's been going on since honestly like Obama and Bush, right? The difference is that now, with the new age of social media, where we have, this increased visibility for posts and the way things happen, now it's like it's being amplified. And then on top of that, when we look at the way social media functions and operates as well, from that standpoint of, I'm on the podcast, Kara. So sorry, my wife just came out of the shower and she was starting to peek around, and I was like, hold up a second, I'm on the podcast. So as I was saying, like, I think it's with the proliferation of social media and how accessible it's become, and the fact that people nowadays are stuck with screens in front of their faces, that now this is kind of where we're at, where these voices that in the past, were pretty much relegated just to like personal circles, or, that one lonely corner on Facebook. Now it's everywhere.
Yeah.
And on top of that, it comes with essentially the oppression Olympics as well, is the other thing that concerns me, because it started off with, okay, don't say X, Y, and Z things about certain races if you are not that race, because that's racist. Then it became gay people and lesbians. And then it became gay people, trans people, and lesbians. And then it became gay people, trans people, lesbians, black people, neo pronouns. And as we proceeded to allow these things to become more and more acceptable, we saw that these people, right? Because generally speaking, like, honestly, I think it really started with trans people specifically, right?
It 100% did. I'm just going to say that. It's because of trans people that this rhetoric has been pushed out. Now, I will say this: 9 times out of 10, there are a lot of trans people that honestly, like, know that, like, hey, I am a biological whatever the fuck.
Yeah.
Identifying as this. It is that 1 out of 10 that fucks everything up.
But the problem is that with, you know, the advancement and proliferation of social media, it's that 1 out of 10 that's become amplified. And so now it's become that 2 out of 10, that 3 out of 10, that 4 out of 10, and it's gotten to the point to where now, because a lot of people, for whatever reason, are in their feelings about this shit. Now we're at the point to where people get mad over feelings and they get violent, and that violence becomes acceptable, and that's the point that we're at, to where now we've got National Guardsmen getting shot and killed in the fucking streets by a fucking immigrant that shouldn't have been here to begin with. And now, there's people being like, oh, well, it's their, like, literally I saw a post of people being like, oh, well, it's their fault for being there. It's like, no,
Yeah.
it's not. No, it's not. First off, the National Guard has always been in DC. That's the first thing, right? The National Guard has always been in DC. There has never been a single day that there are not National Guardsmen actively operating in Washington, D.C. There's never been a day. The National Guard have always been in D.C. This is not some brand new thing. Number two, they 100% should have been there because they were told to be there, and that was a lawful order. Thusly, it is required.
Yeah, 100%. The thing is like when they're saying like, oh, National Guardsmen shouldn't have been there. I will say that we do have more right now, but that's also because of the freaking hate that we have in this country now. Because we refuse to have these difficult conversations that you and I've already talked about last show.
Yeah.
This is literally a step into fucking fascism when we literally said that we need to stop this shit.
Yeah. And like that's the problem. Is that we're hitting this weird turning point in our country, because honestly what it is, like, Gen Z is starting to get more and more conservative.
Well, every younger generation is going to be more conservative than the other right now.
Yeah.
Probably up until like about whatever it's going to be, whatever after Gen Alpha, I want to say. It's the newest one, right?
I think it's Gen Alpha, yeah.
Yeah. So after them, I guess Generation Beta, Generation Charlie, whatever the fuck we're going to call them or whatever. So they're going to be more conservative up until like that Gen Charlie or whatever the fuck I'll say.
Yeah, I don't know what the fuck the next generation is going to be called.
Yeah.
But yeah. Yeah. And the thing that also gets me too is it's like we also have these fucking congressmen that just don't know how to shut their fucking mouths.
Yep.
They don't know how to fucking shut. I mean, we had Jasmine Crockett talking about like, oh, police are law enforcement. Their job is to solve crime, not stop crime. It's like, where'd you get that idea from?
Yeah.
You have. Go ahead.
Go ahead. No, you go ahead. You're the guest.
Yeah. So you have these fucking 6 congressmen that, yes, they're correct in what they're saying in terms of, it is the responsibility of all service members to disregard any unlawful order. But it's like this is clearly in response specifically to a couple, or really one individual captain, Captain Blaha, who on TikTok posted a video explicitly saying that, the National Guardsmen that are in Chicago, they're following unlawful orders and it's their responsibility to go home. And he then turned around and got kicked out of the Army because you don't say that shit. And then, of course, now these congressmen are turning around trying to stick it to the man and be like, well, actually, if you're a service member, just make sure that you're not following any unlawful orders. And it's like, sure, technically what you're saying is not wrong. Yeah. Right? But we know what you mean by that. We know. Anybody with 2 brain cells to rub between their fucking ears knows what they mean by that. And what they're attempting to imply without actually coming out and fucking saying it.
Yeah. Now, everyone, remember it's Colin Atkinson. He is going to be running for Congress in the 2030s. Right now is the time frame. Uh, so what? So what I was going to say is that like you and I are going ahead and doing everything in our power to stop these idiots that just spew bullshit.
Yeah.
As you know, I manage a campaign. I'm managing Bernie Flowers' campaign. You probably don't. I'm not sure if you saw, but I'm also the vice chair of my local Republican Party now.
Yeah, yeah,
Uh,
I saw that you mentioned that. Yeah.
yeah. Uh, so like we're doing everything in our power now to stop these morons. And the thing is that the only way that we can go ahead and stop these idiots is if you guys go ahead and do the grassroots stuff like door knock, donate to the campaigns, and just vote.
Yeah.
It's the only way we can stop this bullshit.
Yeah. Like that's the only way that we're gonna be able to do it. And the biggest problem is gonna be dealing with, these incumbents, like we talked about in the last podcast. The biggest issue is gonna be dealing with the incumbents, because a lot of these people that are saying this stuff now, some of them are relatively new to Congress.
Yeah.
And so by the time this next generation starts actually stepping in and trying to, take the reins, they're going to be going up against these incumbents. Because I guarantee you, like, for example, Jasmine Crockett, I guarantee this is not going to be the last time we fucking see her.
Fuck him.
I guarantee you with AOC, especially now that, Pelosi, Schumer, all of them are getting out, guarantee you they're going to be fucking gunning for that same level of prominence. And so, with that, I think it's gonna come down to getting the younger generation on board with being willing to go up against these incumbents.
No, that's 100% correct. The younger generation is the future of the party, regardless. Like, I've been fighting tooth and nail on my Republican Central Committee, getting this one kid who's actually younger. They're younger than both of us. All right, he's 20 years old right now.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get him sworn in on our next meeting next week. And the thing is that like these old head Republicans refuse to acknowledge that they need to listen to the people that are under the age of 35.
Well, I'm thinking what the problem comes down to with that is it's not just Republicans, it's Democrats too.
Yeah.
These are career politicians, right? They're using the age and the inexperience specifically as a way to simply find a way to hold out on their incumbency without actually having to debate or compare and contrast policies with these people.
Yeah. 100%. And the thing is that like when people are going ahead and refusing to debate, this is what's 100% going to happen to our party. Yeah, it's the same thing all the fucking time. We're going to see this shit happen. And these people refuse to acknowledge the fact that they are the fucking problem.
Yeah. And like ultimately I think what's going to wind up happening is, these guys are going to wind up having to retire or they're going to die. And then we're going to see basically a free-for-all happen.
Correct. That's what we're going to see in Pelosi's district. Now, the thing is that they're going to vote a Democrat in regardless. But...
Oh, yeah, 100%. It's just going to be a matter of who is the real question.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, we saw it with... that one ugly ass Somali looking guy. I don't think he was Congress. He's definitely on a lower level. But there was this one butt ugly fucking guy. He was Somali. He had a lot of backing from Ilhan Omar. And he wound up winning whatever office it was he was running for. And then they wound up actually fucking kicking him out of office because they found fraud. if I remember correctly. I think that's why they kicked him out. They kicked him out of office for something. I'm pretty sure it was because they found fraud.
I'm not surprised. In all honesty.
Yeah, and so where I was going with that was that, um, like what we'll probably see in a lot of these free for all districts, especially on the Democrat side, where they're going to vote in a Democrat no matter what, regardless, is it's essentially going to be kind of like this weird free for all in terms of, people like Omar, who are going to be trying to push in their own weird agenda with getting these fucking not un-American immigrants, typically those who are Somalis, because she has openly stated that her focus is benefiting Somalia, not benefiting the United States. And then you're going to see some of the other Democrats, the older ones, they're going to be pushing for somebody else who's older, regardless of that person's policies, purely because they want to keep the young ones out. And then you're going to see a lot of the younger leftists that are going to be trying to push to get another leftist in, typically one who's a socialist.
Correct. And like what you said, that the Democrats and the Republican Party have the same problem, but it's a good thing that the Democrats have the same problem that we do. Because like you said, they want to have the socialists in. But the
Yeah.
thing is that as generations go ahead and get older, they do become more conservative. That's
Yeah.
the same statistic that matches with the millennials.
Yeah. Well, no. Millennials are ridiculously liberal.
They were, but like when you go ahead and you look at their age, like your older millennials are getting more conservative right now. All right, so these
Yeah.
are people that we're talking about that already have kids and all. Like, so like as soon as people go ahead and they have kids, it's what happens is that their world shrinks,
Yeah.
right? So they're more focused on their children.
Yeah.
So they go ahead and they focus on more conservative policies. The thing is that as conservatives, sorry about that. What we need to say is that our talking points need to be is that we're focusing on the next 3 generations rather than like the next generation.
Yeah. And well, so the problem is that really we shouldn't. I don't think we should even be focusing on that. I think that what we should be doing is we should be focusing on getting the older guys out. That should be the primary focus, because obviously these older guys they don't know how to handle a lot of what's going on now. That's why we're seeing the kind of reaction that we're seeing now, is that they just don't know how to handle what's going on now.
Yeah, these people refuse to go ahead and get with the times that we got. God damn, that's too fucking bright. Gotta change that ring light. Well, no, they like I said, they refuse to get with the times and all that. Thankfully, with Bernie, he likes to listen to me when it comes to this shit. Just being a younger, but like, fuck, dude, these people refuse to acknowledge when it's time to hang up the gloves.
I mean, that's part of the reason why we need to have, some level of like term limits nowadays. So that way then we can avoid the situation that we have currently, where we have all of these people who are 60, 70, 80 some odd years old, and in some cases, who are well into their 90s, literally serving in office till the day that they die. Just gunking up the fucking works and preventing any actual level of progress. Because the other thing too is like that's why we're seeing this level of infighting with both parties as well, is because of the fact that you have the younger the younger representatives coming in saying, "Hey, this is how we're doing things now," and then you have the older ones saying, "Absolutely not. This is how we've always done it." And so then they sit there and they get into a deadlock among themselves and they want to fight with each other.
Yeah, agreed. I mean, like I know you are as well. I mean, political education, I'm not good friends,
Yeah.
but like he refuses to acknowledge that we need to have term limits. I'm
Which is
sure you've
crazy
had that.
because like I've debated
Yeah,
him on it and he's conceded to it before.
Oh, he's conceded to it to you.
Yep.
He refuses to concede it to me. He conceded to me because
Well,
he goes ahead and he says that we need to have like the term limits are people voting them out.
yeah, no, he's conceded it to me because it's. But then again, like I also bring up very very specific examples of people and point out the fact that at the end of the day, the entire reason why we had term limits on presidency is because of the fact that we cannot trust the people to consistently move forward with progression and safety for the country. That's the whole point.
FDR.
That's like the whole reason why we even have, that's the whole reason why we have representatives to begin with, and it's not a direct democracy. Is because of the fact that at the end of the day, we recognize that the American people as a whole are not always capable of making the best decisions.
Yeah, but that right there is also why we have the electoral college. So
Mm-hmm.
people going ahead and saying like, "Oh, we need to be a true democracy." How would
No.
you like it if we just had California and New York decide
Yeah.
who's president?
Yeah. That's like me showing up to your house with like 5 other dudes saying, "All right, we're moving in," and you say, and say, "Actually, well, the 5 of us voted, and we said yeah, so you don't get a choice now."
I'm so glad that you said moved in because I thought you were going to say the 6 of us were going to have sex like a fucking gay orgy. Look, you saw me drinking whiskey. I also had an edible on freaking camera
Why do you always have to make it gay?
because it's funny.
Ladies and gentlemen,
This is your future campaign manager too. Like that's think about that.
I don't know, man. You are very quickly talking yourself out of a fucking job. But no, like yeah, like that's what it's. The general populace are not always capable of making smart decisions. I mean,
No.
fuck, we can literally just look at the whole, again, going back to the whole situation going on with the National Guard and everything. Very clearly, there are people who don't know what the fuck they're talking about, trying to act like they do. They don't understand the difference between a lawful and unlawful order. They just hear some other fucking talking head spout that shit out, and then they're going to turn around and repeat the same thing, not even actually understanding what it is that they're repeating.
Sounds like a certain someone that's in our server on Discord.
Oh yeah, Ace of Cards.
Yep.
Yeah.
Hey.
Fuck that guy. Like, this motherfucker. Oh, he froze. Oh, there we go.
There we
There
go.
we go. Yeah, you froze pretty bad.
Yeah, I was like, fuck.
But he this motherfucker straight up tried to argue with me about what it means when you say that something should happen to somebody.
Oh my god. Saying that to someone that actually fucking serves or anyone that knows remotely about the fucking military.
Well, no. He was like, it's the thing that got me that really was like, okay, this guy really doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about, was when he was like, yeah, he was like, his quote was like, we should, all Democrats and leftists are terrorists. We should treat them as such and with extreme prejudice, right?
Yeah, that was the screenshot I sent to you just in case you didn't have it.
Yeah, I've got the screenshot of all of his statements.
Yeah.
And then I turned around and pointed out the fact, because he's like, I never said that I was okay with it or I agreed with it. It's like, bro, you literally said that this should happen. And he was like, well, should is not necessarily an indicator that it's the right thing to do or that it will happen. And I was like, yeah, I'm not arguing about whether or not it will happen. I'm arguing about the fact that you were saying that it should happen, meaning you want it to happen. And he's like, no, it doesn't. And it's like, so then what does it mean when I say, I should get up and go do something? What does that mean? And motherfucker never responded. Just like, I think it was yesterday, he he started arguing with me again, and I brought back up the fact that no, you said this stuff. Like no matter how much you try to play it off, like you never fucking said this shit. You unequivocally did. He disappeared. Crickets. It's like, oh, would you look at that? The moment I start quoting you fucking directly, suddenly you disappear.
Yeah, I mean that's what happened on the last server that we were in too. It's like as soon as you went ahead and quoted the guy to his fucking face, he would just go ahead and stop.
Yeah, because it's purely because he doesn't understand what the fuck it is that he's saying, and he thinks he does because he's just being reactionary and emotional, and that's the shit that pisses me off. Like honestly, that's one of the things that fucking Patriot and all them need to fucking get on is getting rid of the fucking reactionaries, because we shouldn't be entertaining reactionaries. Because there is no level of discourse that you can have with a reactionary where you're ever going to have a rational conversation with them.
Yeah, 100%. The thing is that like I will say this, that everyone can be reactionary from time to time, and that's a discussion for another time because we're human beings. That just fucking happens.
No, I'm definitely not a reactionary person.
But the thing is that like when I saw him call you retarded, I was close to giving him a fucking strike. I'll be honest.
There we go. That was really weird. I don't know what the hell's going on with the fucking podcast tonight, but like everything went black on my screen for a second.
Yeah, it shows that you're black right now too. If you want to leave and then could join back, let's see if that works.
Okay.
All right. So, like I said, that's Colin Atkinson. He is running for Congress in the 2030s. He is going to be representing, hopefully, in Eastern Texas. He is currently serving the United States Air Force. Or is that? There we go.
There we go. All right. But
no, like everyone's reactionary. But like I said, we're only human. That's just what fucking happens.
Yeah. Dude, I think we're gonna have this podcast episode another night because now your audio is like stuttering for me.
Here, I'm gonna remove myself and go back in.
Okay.
Okay, is that better?
No.
This is fucking bullshit. All right, I'm gonna remove this microphone and go headset.
Okay.
All right. Is it still stuttering?
Yeah, it's still like stuttering for me. I really think it's just something to do with the website tonight.
All right, I want to tell you what. I want to create another live stream.
Okay.
All right. I'm going to send you the new link. We'll go ahead and jump into it again.
Okay. All right.